many today associate, the digital economy and especially the internet with tremendous liberation of individual empowerment, efficacy. And you don't see this quite the same way.
In a way I do. I've tried to make the point, not just in this book but in others, that all these technologies, especially significant ones, such as those you mentioned, are a kind of Faustian bargain. They giveth and they taketh away. Now, I write as I do because in America, all we're interested in is what it will give. And there isn't too much discussion on what it would take away. I mean, even something like antibiotics.
Right.
I think if we ask, well, what problem does it solve? That's pretty obvious. And if we said, whose problem is it? Well, it's a problem most of us need solved. But then if we ask, well, will it bring on another problem? The answer is yes, it does. A weakened immune system. And if you just proceed with antibiotics without being aware that there will be a problem, another problem that you wouldn't have had, then I think you're headed toward a kind of catastrophe.
Right.
So I think these are, because I have some other questions, I think you do have to ask what changes will come about because of this technology, economic and political, and who will be the winners and who will be the losers. Well, I think we ought to discuss that.
But let's take that back, though, and put it right into the living room. Because, in your seminal work, Amusing Ourselves to Death, you talk in depth about the social repercussions of television.
Right.
Is it the technology there or the content that produces the problems? Could we fix television to your satisfaction by fixing the programming?
This is a good question. I will answer it as an unreconstructed McLuhanite. I think we have to pay more attention to the form of the medium as against its content.
Right.
But we can't ignore the content. The problem with television is that it's become the command center, at least of American culture. It's different from other media in that respect. You play a CD because you want to hear the music, and then when it's over, that's it. You go to see a play because you want to see the play, and that's it. And same with a movie and so on. But we go to television for everything, for entertainment, for news, for politics, political campaigns, increasingly for education and religion. So I wrote that, Amusing Ourselves to Death, not as an anti-television book, but trying to make the point that television cannot do all of these things, essentially because it's a visual medium. So that there are certain things that books can do better than television, certain things television can do better than books, and so on. But we were then, as we are now, using television for everything. So that was the basis of my complaint.
Now, another area of concern that's been common throughout your recent body of work and that you certainly look at here is children. And you talk about in the 18th century quite a unique concept, that childhood formed a distinct stage in life. Today you say we run the risk of destroying childhood. Tell me about that analysis.
Well, let me begin again by referring to television, although the computer and the internet come into it. Here's the problem. In the 18th century, childhood really emerged as a distinct age of people. Infancy, childhood, adulthood. And childhood was the stage where you would prepare people for adulthood.
Right.
And the way we call it socializing the child. The way you do it is by keeping secrets from the child, medical secrets, political secrets, sexual secrets, and the like, and revealing the secrets in psychologically assimilatable stages.
Right, and
Then-
sequentially.
Sequentially. And then when the child knew all the secrets, he or she is an adult. This was possible to do in the age of print. It's not possible to do in the age of television and the computer because those media make available to everyone the total content of the adult world. So it becomes impossible to keep secrets from anyone.
And there is no sequence, nor any
sequence, right.
any context.
So, see, this is a case, Alan, of the form of the media really being what we're tangling with, because there is no way to control the internet. I mean, President Clinton wants V-chips, you know about
Right.
that. So, but I mean, basically, there's no way to do it, as in a way there's no way to control television. In America, children start to view television at about 18 months, and by 36 months, they're already serious TV viewers. They have favorite characters, they sing jingles, they hear, and they want products they see advertised. And by the time an American kid, anyway, is going to kindergarten, he or she has watched about 5,000 hours of television. So there's no, well, now we have something called children's programming. Sure you have it
Oh, yes.
in Canada too. But basically that's a side issue. Everything on television is for everybody. It's easily accessible. If you just watch commercials on any night, talk about medical secrets, a 5-year-old would learn via television just with the commercials. I'm not even talking about the doctor shows with their disease of the week,
Right.
you know, about all the natural shocks the flesh is heir to, arthritis, diabetes, cancer. I mean, that's what a lot of the commercials are about.
What does
there are
that
no
do to the
secrets.
child?
Well, I think it makes the child a premature adult.
Without the prerequisites and the learning necessary to deal with the adult
Right.
world.
And in stateside, suicide is, I believe now, the most common cause of death among adolescents. And we have to worry about that. I mean, I'm not blaming media entirely on that, but it's possible that by thrusting the young into adulthood, because our media do that, we're making them unprepared for the things they have to face.